All right, guys, it is finally time for me to give you that video that I've been promising you for over a year. It is time to take the red rocket flying. Okay, before we take off, let's hit the way back and see how far we've come. When we found the red rocket, it was a mess and in literal pieces, but we bought it anyways, had it delivered because we saw potential. So we tore it down, had the landing gear fittings replaced, and then started reassembly. Next we added new Javron landing gear, Behringer wheel and brake assemblies, and some Acme Aero suspension, giving us a rolling chassis. Back in the interior, we installed Javron carbon fiber flooring, deck tape because that stuff is slippery, and some Behringer heel brakes that really complete the interior. Next, it was time for the engine, with QAA overhauled magnetos, plain power alternator, B&C oil filter adapter, Skytech starter, Avstar fuel injection system, New Horizons harness, Champion spark plugs, and an EFII boost pump, all lit up with an EarthX battery. We did a lot with the engine to make sure it would always run reliably. Back inside, we started on a custom panel with huge support from Trig Avionics, providing our radio, transponder, transponder antenna, GPS receiver, GPS antenna, and VHF antenna. Then we added the iLevel autopilot with control grip, aircraft automation Super Eco autopilot with trim tabs, GRT engine monitor, and an Aethra EDOT for CO monitoring. Center stage is our iPad mount from x-naut, providing everything we need to fly. To top everything off, we installed lighting from AeroLEDs for taxi, beacon, and positioning lights, and man, are these things bright. We also installed custom Crow safety harnesses to keep us locked in during our flying shenanigans, and jet shade tint to keep us cool in the Phoenix sun. And finally, the crowning jewel of the plane, our warp drive 4-blade propeller. Guys, there are countless other things I did behind the scenes to make this an incredible build that's worthy of the air. Yep, that was a ton of work, but let's get in this thing and go fly.
All right, clear.
Cub 24928 Valley Tower, fly straight out, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, flying straight out, Cub 24928.
Last year, I only had the red rocket a few hours before I had to pull the wings and take her to Osh. Now that she's all back together, I finally get to really fly her. Granted, I started off slow because up until this point, I've only done pattern work to get my tailwheel skills up. But a few days ago, I left the pattern for the first time just to fly around and have fun, which leads me to today, the first time I've taken the red rocket on a cross-country trip. My destination of choice? Sedona, Arizona. It's one of my favorite destinations, and it's the one place I dreamed of flying the red rocket to once it was done, and today was the perfect day for it. Also, I recently got some X5 cameras from Insta360 that provide some really cool shots of the plane, which will make for some incredible footage once we get there. But let's jump back to the ground for a minute while I tell you a bit more about my flying experience in the red rocket.
All right, so why are we back on the ground? It's because the audio I recorded while I was inside the air sounded absolutely awful.
Valley ground, Cub 24928.
So I decided to record down here inside of the plane so you could actually understand what I'm saying. But first and foremost, I need to let you guys in on a little secret about the Red Rocket. Red Rocket is actually its stage name. I actually call the plane Ellie, not as an elephant, but as an elevator. I always thought that the airplane was going to climb really, really well, and so I call it the Red Rocket. But last year when I started flying it, I realized how much it really, really climbs, and Ellie just made sense at that time. So very excited to have Ellie here. Still going to be called the Red Rocket online, but that's what I call her. And that leads me into performance. It performs really, really well. In all of my flights and everything, I'm getting an easy 800 to 1,000 feet per minute, climbing out at like 80 miles an hour. it just wants to climb, and the more power that I give it, the more it just pitches up and just continues to climb. The most I've ever seen inside of the airplane is 1,800 feet per minute at full power, and I think I was going about 60 miles an hour inside the plane, which I don't really want to go below that. But I mean, I can do an easy, hot, humid day at 1,400 feet per minute. Very, very performing airplane, and the controls and everything on it perform really well too. With the clipped wings, I mean, the whole thing's almost an aileron at this point. So it rolls really easy, and it can change its pitch and movement and stuff really, really quickly. And the plane was set up for aerobatics before I got it, so that kind of makes sense. But it's just a really fun flying, very performing airplane, and it's just been a blast to fly. But with all of that, there are some catches or gotchas that I would say. I haven't flown a legitimate Cub before. This is the only Cub that I have flown. But things that I've noticed is that my approach speeds aren't the same as what a normal Cub would. And the clipped wing has something to do with that. Also the massive engine and our gross weight has a lot to do with that. And so when I'm looking at V-speeds and published stuff, there's nothing for this plane. It truly is an experimental airplane that I'm having to figure those things out for myself. So my approach speed is around 65 miles an hour inside of this, which is 10 miles less than the cruise speed for a normal Cub. But if I come in any slower, instead of kind of gliding down towards the runway, I'm dropping towards the runway, kind of like I have flaps. And so I've been fine-tuning my flying and how I'm landing the airplane safely and such like that. I don't touch down until I'm about 45 miles an hour, so I've been using a lot more runway, but I think that has more to do with me learning to fly the airplane better and also learning to fly a tailwheel a little bit better. So the Red Rocket / Ellie truly is an amazing airplane. I'm incredibly blessed and pleased to have been able to complete this project, build her, and start flying her. And I know that I couldn't have done it without all the amazing sponsors that helped me get to this point. They truly made this plane what it is, and such an amazing flying airplane with all of the gadgets and gizmos that are inside of it. Again, a huge thank you to all of our sponsors who helped make this airplane possible. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for Inside the Airplane. Let's get back to landing in Sedona.
We made it. All right, guys, we made it to beautiful Sedona, Arizona. And it's the longest trip that I've made inside of the Cub thus far. Very, very excited for it. It was a lot of fun. But my camera batteries are all dead because they recorded the entire flight here. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. I love this airplane. It is a ton of fun. And let's just say that it was definitely worth rebuilding this bird and getting it back inside of the air again. Yes, it was a passion project. Yes, I was doing it for fun and along with you guys. And it's just incredibly rewarding to finally be at this point to fly the airplane and see what it can do. So again, a first destination that we've made it to, and golly, Guys, thank you. Thank you for following along. And as always, share this, as always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one. Guys, if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations, and thank you for watching all the way through. I'm gonna let you in on one more little secret about the Red Rocket. Sadly, it is for sale.